The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
Hey, Trevor, can I borrow $5?
No.
Well, I want to put $5 down on Silovs winning the Calder so I can win like $16,000, man. I thought that's how you get rich these days.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You know what, Kyle? If I had $5, I'd give it to you, but I don't. But hopefully we can make $5 on this episode of Locked On Canucks. My name is Trevor Beggs, co-host of Locked On Canucks, and also a Canucks writer currently with a Daily Hive Vancouver. Before we dive into today's episode, we got to thank you for tuning into Locked On Canucks. You want to know why? Because it is your Canucks every damn day. We're part of that Locked On Podcast Network. They're doing the most for sports fans across the world. And for our show, if you haven't done so already, what are you waiting for? Make sure you go subscribe and like the video on YouTube, or leave us a 5-star review and follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. Also got to let you know, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Go visit FanDuel.com to get started. In recent Canucks seasons, we've seen this team produce some of the best rookies in the NHL. Shout out to Brock Besser. Shout out to Elias Pettersson, Quinn Hughes. But this potential Calder winner would be the craziest one in Canucks history if he was able to pull it off. So let's talk about someone who, in my mind, might be the most important player on the Canucks roster this season, and it is Arturs Silovs. Yes, he is Calder eligible, and yes, he's got a shot at winning the Calder trophy. Let's get into it. Arturs Silovs talk, his Calder competition, and could he actually pull it off? Before we get to that, let me introduce someone who I thought was Kyle Bowen, but now I'm not sure anymore.
I'm still Kyle Bowen. I'm still the man. Speaking of which, though, man, this voice change, man, I didn't know that my dog would stop listening to me. Other day, I'm talking about yesterday, my dog humping the leg of an 85-year-old at this park up the street. I'm telling him to stop, and he wouldn't stop till he was finished.
Dang, that poor 85-year-old. Did were they angry? Were they upset, or were they kind of into it?
No. You know, it was at a dog park, so people are pretty friendly out there. They understand. You know,
right?
It is what it is. Anyways, Arturs Silovs. So what's the national animal of Latvia? Can you Google that? Because I'm pretty sure it's a grizzly bear, for real. Did you know that we're killing a lot of grizzly bears? Not grizzly bears, but bears in general. In BC, like 150 plus have died since the beginning of 2024. You know why that's important? More on that in like 20 minutes. Silovs winning the Calder? I think so. Okay. And I didn't know that Harman actually mentioned him in his piece when he was going over the 20 Calder nominees of this season. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And that makes me believe that you and I are into something. That me and you are not idiots, complete dumbasses, okay? Arturs Silovs, 42 starts this season, wins himself a Calder. I think so.
It's certainly possible, right? And look, we talked about it before where even if Demko was at 100%, Silovs is going to have to play at least 30 games this season because you just cannot ride Thatcher Demko into the ground based on the injury history. But now, obviously, he may not start the season. So Arturs Silovs could be in line for, let's say, 40 starts. And if he does that, if he gets to that 40-ish start total and he gets something like wins in the high 20s and he's got an above average save percentage and he's helping the Canucks perform like one of the best teams in the NHL, he's got a good goddamn chance at winning the Calder trophy and being a nominee. But let's go balls to the wall here, winning the Calder trophy. Now, it's an uphill battle for sure, but we've seen in recent seasons goalies get hot and get nominated for the Calder. It happened with Stuart Skinner a couple seasons ago. Alex Nedeljkovic a season or two before that. So we've seen it recently where guys can get hot at the right time. Often it's towards the end of the season where, it's more fresh in voters' minds. But I think Silovs, again, if the worst case scenario happens and if Demko is out long term or battles the injury bug throughout the season, Silovs is going to have a chance behind, again, a great defense and a team that was.
Whoa. Okay, Smack yourself in the face, okay? Great defense. Vincent Desharnais.
Look. Okay. The defense on paper isn't what it was last season, but I'm believing in Adam Foote here. And look, last season, the Canucks were one of the best defensive teams in the NHL. Yes, on paper, they don't have an amazing defense, but they do got Quinn Hughes. They do got Filip Hronek, two number one defensemen, the two best defensemen in Canucks history.
Whoa.
And based on the structure that was in place last season and the forwards too. The forwards play a part in playing defense as well. I think the environment is a favorable one for Arturs Silovs compared to, look, there's a couple other rookie netminders in the NHL who are up for the Calder who are in far worse environments than your Vancouver Canucks. And specifically, Dustin Wolf with the Calgary Flames has a chance of being the number one there. Yaroslav Askarov with the San Jose Sharks, he's going to be the number one there. Those guys are both Calder eligible as well. Those guys got a higher pedigree, better AHL numbers, but they're playing in much crappier environments than what Arturs Silovs is going to be in for your Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah. And you know what? All those things that you said that the Canucks have that are aiding Silovs and making this more a comfortable transition, one that he wasn't really, signing up for. Real talk, even when he signed this 2-year extension, he's thinking he's being a backup, 25 starts, be really good in those 25 starts, but not be the guy. Well, now he's probably going to be the guy early on in this season. I'm pretty sure if he's the guy and he's doing well, they're going to balance things out. They're going to make sure Demko is 100% feeling himself, feeling healthy going into April. That's when they'll make the executive decision and play only one goaltender, right? That's when Demko will be the guy, right? If all things go well. But man, oh man, he's going to have these 40+ starts, these 37 starts in front of or behind a pretty good team. A team that wants to get dubs. Straight up, goaltenders like picking up wins. It adds momentum to everything that they're doing. They make more saves. They do their thing. And he's going to make a case. He's also a personality in his own way. And I know he's a quiet guy. I know he wears the pink shirts and he's extravagant away from the microphone, but he's the guy who puts the ice bag on his head. He's got that Breeze Galloff type energy with him. But you talk about the personality he has on the ice as well. The way he makes saves. He's highlight reel. He is. And he's the real deal. Arturs Silovs, Calder candidate? I think so.
Well, and look, I think the one big flaw in his game, and it gets mentioned probably too much because we're nitpicking a bit here, but it's really just seeing pucks through traffic. And, he's not immune to mistakes. He had a pretty bad goal in the AHL where he let in the goal from center ice. So he's still a young guy at the end of the day. But, Kyle, to your point, he made some unreal saves in the playoffs against Edmonton. Think of the stop on the goal line in Game 3, I think it was. Think of the Game 7 save off of Draisaitl diving across the crease to make a glove save. I mean, I do think as well, and this is a big thing for goaltenders, he's just got the mentality. He's got that dog in him to handle the pressure and just not to get affected by goals that would go in that, maybe aren't the best goals ever. So, Arturs Silovs for a lot of reasons. I mean, first and foremost, let's hope that Thatcher Demko is healthy enough to play. But I do think there's a scenario here where, again, based on what we've seen from Silovs, based on his potential, based on the fact that I think he's going to get better and he plays behind, again, a good structured team, we'll put it that way. I think he's got a chance potentially to enter the Calder conversation if he plays enough games this season.
And, just to run off of that, and, speaking of health, speaking of Demko, Begsy, I thought last week you told us that, Demko's back. I'm feeling optimistic. I'm feeling good. Then Elliot Friedman saying that, he's not going to miss half the season. But there's a good chance that in the beginning parts of the season, we won't see Demko at all, which, again, is leading me to believe that the Canucks are really, really, really interested in whatever goaltender out there to help Silovs be, I'll use the word again, comfortable. And I think that's why they're going after Lankinen, assumably the best of the best available, to, again, maybe take some of that pressure off. because let's be honest. Let's be real. We don't know ish about Demko's injury. Like if you read the timeline, bro, dude, he may be gone for 7 years. I don't know. Real talk. Now he's gonna have to learn how to play goaltender again with the way his knee is. He's always gonna feel that pain. There's no way to fix it. What? We don't know ish. But one thing we do know, Silovs, a 23-year-old, a rookie still, and I know he did it in the playoffs, the biggest pressure of cookers. He's gonna have to be the guy. And the last time I checked, this is a really, really important season for the Vancouver Canucks because they teased us, and it felt good. And I want to be teased again. Yeah.
Yeah, the Vancouver Canucks, a big old tease last season, but, they brought a lot of excitement along the way. And speaking of teases, man, I got to unload some information on later on in this episode. But before we do that, let's get to break. Also on the other side, let's get to some of Trevor's notes presented by this guy who I think is Kyle, and mainly from kind of the media availability yesterday. Let's talk maybe a bit more about Silovs and some of the other Calder competition. All that and more coming up after we shout out our friends over at FanDuel. All right, you've heard us talk about FanDuel a lot on this program because you know what? They are America's #1 sportsbook. Well, we have something a little different for you. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. Now, Kyle, I got to say something. I'm not sure if this is legal. I'm in a pick-em football pool, and me and my partner who were in the pool together, she asked my daughter to make the picks. So my 3-year-old made my football picks for week 2, and guess what? Your Packers, they are 3.5-point dogs at home against the Indianapolis Colts because, hey, Malik Willis is expected to start. But my daughter don't care about that. She still picked your Green Bay Packers. Let's go, baby. I'm on the Malik Willis train for 1 week. Let's go.
See, there you go, Trevor. See, I made the change to my voice for your children. Okay, people don't know that's the case. And boom, bam. I knew your daughter knew how to read at a high level. She's been reading the comments. She probably been listening to the episodes. Now she knows Uncle Kyle is looking after her. And now she's looking after me. That's family, baby. I love it.
Family. That's family, baby. And hey, if you're betting, FanDuel is looking after you. Just visit FanDuel.com to download America's #1 sportsbook.
People, we back doing this, and that's giving you an episode of Locked On Canucks. My name, Kyle Bowen. That right there is Trevor Beggs. Hit the like button, subscribe, because we're with you every day. And man, oh man, Aaron Gray. One love to the comments, one love to Aaron Gray. Everyone knows the deal. The greatest ball hockey general manager in BC right now is a fan of the show. We're super blessed. And he's asking me to say this, okay? So I'll say it again. My girlfriend hates this voice. My dog doesn't recognize me anymore. For real. We just lost a subscriber. The captain is gone. Popeye Sailor is gone. But Aaron's loving the voice, okay? And look at this. Canucks games are back this week with the Young Stars Classic. And they kick it off this Friday. What did I say? I said this Friday. I said Friday. Versus the Calgary Flames. Don't miss the start of the season. Couldn't do that before. Yeah.
It's like goddamn nails on a chalkboard, man. Unbelievable. Man, oh man. That's I'd almost listen I'd rather listen to any other voice other than that, buddy. Unbelievable. I missed the old Kyle. More on that in 10 minutes. But you know what? There were some other voices speaking yesterday from the Jake Milford Canucks annual golf tournament. It really is kind of the unofficial kickoff of the season. And there's a few notes from yesterday to get into, so let's hit the button. It's Trevor's Notes, presented by Kyle.
Okay, let's do this. Trevor's Notes brought to you by me. Kyle Bell. Anyways, the first note, Quinn Hughes thinks that the Canucks are better. No shit. I mean, no beep. What else is he supposed to say, okay? Oh, we lost Zadorov. Oh, we lost Ian Cole. We got Vincent Darnay. Oh, okay. We're going to be better. Talk about this, Trevor.
Yeah, I think actually the more interesting thing than that, because you're right, that's obviously what he's going to say was, I think the big takeaway from Hughes yesterday was mentioning that he trained with Roman Josi this offseason, the dude who the Canucks knocked out in round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And he mentioned that he didn't really want to share too much about training with Josi, but for him, he saw some value in training with the guy who previously won the Norris. And kind of the story there was that, he said that he doesn't feel like he won the Norris anymore, because at the time it was kind of cool, but now it's a new season and you got to move on. And with Roman Josi, it was what happened there is when he won the Norris, the next season, he didn't have a great year. And the year after that is when he put up 96 points and still actually finished second in Norris voting to Cale Makar. So I think Hughes is taking some lessons away from that. And Kyle, we've talked about it before, but obviously Hughes thinks the Canucks are going to be better. No bleep on that. How much better is Hughes going to be than last season, if at all?
Damn, great question. I keep going back to this, I wouldn't say a theory, but maybe my hope, maybe my expectations for Quinn Hughes in the regular season. I don't really care for it. Now, if you ask me how much better he's going to be in the playoffs, I'm going to guarantee he's going to be a lot better. He's going to be a Norris Trophy winner. He's going to be dynamic offensively, and that's what I'm really, really interested in. Like, how much of his regular season looks different because of what he believes was a lack of Quinn Hughes when it was time to be Quinn Hughes for the Canucks in the playoffs. Like, I wonder how hard he is on himself. I didn't read the Ian McIntyre piece. I actually didn't even watch any of the interviews yet, but I'm curious to know if he has like some remarks or some critique about what he did in the playoffs offensively.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think he just mentioned kind of broadly during yesterday's availability that, he took away some lessons and learned from the postseason. I think he was asked specifically about where he thinks he can improve next season. And he mentioned two things. First of all, he mentioned that he believes he can score 20 goals and that even though he had 17 last year, he believes he missed a lot of opportunities and that he, is going to be able to capitalize on those and actually hit 20 goals, which has happened, I think, once in Canucks history. I'd have to double check that. I think Paul Reinhart hit it once, but don't quote me on that. But in the playoffs too, he kind of mentioned just that it was nice to go through that grind for the first time and experience it. And come on, man, I believe Quinn Hughes, he might not hit the same point total, but he's going to be damn close. I think he's going to be a better player in the playoffs.
And dude, come on. I'm undervaluing his competitive nature. Maybe, he really, really does want to be amongst the elite of the elite when it's all said and done. And sometimes you do need to pad up the stats, right? You know what I'm saying? You need to have those back-to-back-to-back Norris Trophy-like seasons. And if the Canucks power play is, I don't know, like half the power play, well, better than half. You know what I'm trying to say? If it's just better than it was last season and Quinn Hughes, takes his foot off the pedal, he could still very much get to 90 points.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that much of a stretch. You're right about that.
Yeah. 100%. Okay. Oh, yeah. It's Trevor's notes brought to you by Kyle. Okay. The second note is more on Quinn Hughes. Okay. He keeps name dropping Kiefer Sherwood, and now he's name dropping Jake DeBrusk as well. Talk about it, Trevor.
Yeah, which is interesting. He kind of caught himself during this, like talk about the additions to the team. And the first guy he mentioned was Kiefer Sherwood. And I know he was already obviously in July very vocal, and he mentioned it again during his availability about, telling Patrick Levine how much he liked this signing and was on board with this signing. So Kiefer Sherwood is Quinn Hughes' favorite Canuck right now. Let's be real. I know he's, got some friends and some teammates on that team, but Kiefer Sherwood is his dude. And then he mentioned DeBrusk, and then he kind of mentioned, and all the other guys we signed too. Like they were all good additions. So I think he's doing his captain's thing, trying to make sure everyone's included. But it was, just kind of interesting that Jake DeBrusk makes sense to name check. He was the big shiny addition, but Kiefer Sherwood just continues to be Quinn Hughes' favorite Canuck here.
Dude, I would not be surprised if Quinn buys Kiefer Sherwood a new BMW. You know what I'm saying? He is the captain. He just made that EA Sports money too. Really show your love. You know what I'm saying? And you know how yesterday, and again, check out yesterday's episode, maybe we'll clip this segment on a separate portion of our page. But we talked about this whole like Kiefer Sherwood, Daniel Sprong, Niels Höglander thing, and I was, defending Höglander. I'm like, who was Kiefer Sherwood? Okay, he just played a year and a half of NHL hockey. Look at what Höglander's done. How come we're guaranteeing this guy a spot? You know why we're doing it? Because the Norris Trophy winning defenseman Quinn Hughes for your Vancouver Canucks, who happens to be the captain too, loves Kiefer Sherwood. So Kiefer Sherwood's a lock, not only to play on this team, but in my opinion, get a look in the top 6.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was writing this morning for Daily Hive a list of, breakout candidates for the Canucks or guys who could have career best seasons. And I ended up kind of axing Sherwood from the list, but he was kind of an honorable mention, if you will. But I wouldn't be surprised if he forces his way up the lineup. He does seem better suited for a bottom 6 role just based on what we saw in the playoffs. But again, lots of competition on the wings, and I wouldn't be overly surprised if he forces his way up the lineup at some point.
Bro, Quinn Hughes, Kiefer Sherwood, best pals. Okay, Quinn Hughes, Jake DeBrusk, what? They've been chilling too. Like they going to Cactus Club? They going to Cactus Club having cactus cut fries, potato. What do they have at lettuce wraps? Oh yeah, Bellinis. Are they having all that? Are they talking about life? What's going on there?
Yeah, DeBrusk and PD. It's interesting. He said that he hasn't really gotten to know PD like that well yet, but they've talked a little bit, and I think he mentioned something like their vibes are very different, which makes sense. Pettersson's a bit more of a quiet guy, whereas DeBrusk is definitely a very vocal guy.
Okay, well, first of all, I was asking about Hughes. Like Hughes he just name dropped DeBrusk as in like, we just got a new guy, or did he give a little sentence, a little personality trait about what he's learned about Jake DeBrusk?
Yeah, he didn't give much. It was kind of like, we got a lot of pickups this offseason. We got Sherwood and we got DeBrusk. So I don't think this guy's going to Cactus Club yet. And I'm pretty sure Quinn Hughes is on a very strict diet. So I'm guessing no Bellinis or Cactus cut fries.
Why not? Anyways, okay, so DeBrusk, Pettersson, different people. DeBrusk learning more about PD. We're not learning more about PD, though, because Pettersson, Mr. 11.6, not available to the media yesterday. Okay, am I being an asshole? You know what? Okay, here's the thing, Trevor, okay? I said this in July, and I meant it. It's just a theory of mine. Go ahead and prove me wrong. Shove it up my ass, whatever, okay? But Pettersson, man, I think for you to have a lot of success in the city on this team, you got to let go. You got to let go. You got to let go of resentment. You got to not take it personal, whether it be with the media or, with how the team disclosed their thoughts on your injury, blah, blah, blah. But if you're getting paid $11.6 million, I don't really care too much, but if you're getting paid that much, just be that guy. You know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I'm saying, right? We got Carson Soucy. That's all I'm saying, man. I think it would be a little bit easier if he just did it. Even if he was just full of cliches. Quinn Hughes is Mr. Cliche. Just do it. Just do it. Or else idiots like us are going to talk about it. It's just do it. 11.6. 11.6.
Yeah, and Brock Besser is one of the guys to speak yesterday too, and he's a king of cliches as well. He loves the word obviously.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Just again, do you want to slap me in the face for talking ish about PD there? I wasn't talking. I'm not talking ish. I was just surprised. Like you're not made available. What's going on there? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't want to slap you in the face for that. I see where you're coming from. The guy's making the big boy bucks now, but I do want to slap you in the face for something else, and I'm gonna let loose a bit on the other side because I'm fired up, man. Locked on Canucks, your Canucks every day. I got to get some things off my chest to the other side, and of course, let's try to get to some of your comments as well. Again, I'm Trevor Beggs. That's Kyle Bowen. Locked on Canucks, your Canucks every day. Back in a moment.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. Kyle Bowen, Trevor Beggs, and we're with the people live on YouTube. Speaking of which, we will be back in the morning tomorrow, okay? Still not used to the traffic. I'm still on Mexico time. But more notably speaking, I'm not used to the traffic. Something happened. Something happened over here. It's completely different. And for me to get to that 8:30 start time that I love to do with the people in the morning, I got to get up at 6:30, okay? And cut me some slack too, okay? Not only did I get bullied last week, I just had surgery too. So do the math. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be late. It is what it is.
It is what it is, man. But, I'm not accepting that when it comes to your voice, buddy. I'm really not. And here, I got something to say, man. Give me a second. September 6th, 2011. I met this guy named Kyle Bowen. First year journalism class. Heard that sharp voice from the front of the classroom talking about your Vancouver Canucks. And I fell in love with that voice, man. I fell in love with that voice. Every time I heard it, get a little boing down below the waist. But now, how am I supposed to get hard ever again, man? Your voice is my Viagra, bro.
Whoa.
Come on, man.
No.
Unbelievable. And we do this every day. I'm selfish. I do it for me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm sick and tired of your. I hate it, man. I hate it. You better watch out. You better sleep with one eye open, because I'm coming to your house and I'm ripping that voice out of your throat, man. Unbelievable, man. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick of it. I want the old Kyle back. I won't sleep until that voice comes back.
That's all I needed. All I needed was the truth. All I needed was that. All I needed was friendship. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of friendship, man, I got bullied last week, and what did you do? You talked about it online. What? How old are you? 14? Are you 14 years old? Trevor, you should have came over, man. You should have came over.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Should have came over. You should have called me, man. That's all you had to do. All you had to do. Or you could have just done that and told me how you really felt about my voice. Because if I knew that my voice is the reason that we're friends, bro, I would have came back a long time ago. I would have came back. Oh, am I back? I'm back, right?
You're back. Scared me, man.
Was that echoing there a bit?
No, you were good, and then you just cut out.
No, I'm back. I'm back, though, man. I'm back.
I'm happy, man. Oh, you made my day. Look. Boing! Rock hard, baby. Let's go.
All you have to do is do that, man. Just like, you know what? I've made so many friends with this voice. Not only you, but with all these people, you and you watching this. So we just lost Popeye Sailor. You know, it is what it is. I was going through it, okay? But Trevor's honesty, like all honesty does, it sets you free. And I'm getting emotional, man. Can you read some comments?
Happy,
Can you read some comments?
Happy, man. Unbelievable. All right, let's get to a couple comments before we get out of here. Vancouver is my life. Young stars this weekend. I think we'll talk more about young stars later this week, okay? Because the Canucks prospect pool might be cooler than you think, man. Honestly, there's I've read some of the latest prospect rankings. I kind of have my own list, my own rankings figured out if you want to go through it later this week. But man, oh man, Canucks young stars comes back Friday. I believe they play Calgary. Then they play Edmonton on Friday, Calgary on Sunday, Winnipeg Monday, something like that. But you're going to see Jonathan Lecaramaki play some games. And who knows, man? Maybe this guy even plays some NHL games for your Vancouver Canucks.
Is Silovs playing? Is Silovs playing in the Young Star tournament?
No.
Oh, but this guy can win the Calder? Crazy, man. The new Michael Ryder. Bro, Young Stars tournament, going to have my eye to it a bit. Really, 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 really interested to see how Elias Pettersson II does. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, man, I'm so scared. I'm so scared of this defense in front of Arturs Silovs. Yes, I have a lot of faith in Adam Foote and whatnot. I'm just still too pessimistic about the three towers back there. For real, Myers, Desharnais, Forbert, all looking like they're going to get some, real important ice time in front of Silovs. And there's a small chance of me that thinks that 30 games into the season after Alvin can't strike a trade because the market is too high, that Pettersson gets a chance, right? Is that like impossible?
It's possible, man. It's possible.
Yep. Thank you, man. I think that was a great response, Trevor. Thanks for the back and forth there.
I was busy ripping through the comments here. I apologize, man. And
It's okay.
you know, Anthem has got me thinking, man. Quinn said he's not looking to make more chances this season, but capitalizing on the ones he does get. Could we see a bit more of a selfish Quinn Hughes next season?
Well, dude. Okay, so again, Quinn is like full of cliche, so I don't even know if he's like telling the truth half the time. Like I think he's just saying ish as quick as possible just so he can get away from the mics. But I do think there was a big shift in mentality with Quinn Hughes, like 60 games into the season where he wasn't shooting as much. Now, I don't know if that's because of a undisclosed shoulder injury that he was dealing with, right? Captain Canuck doesn't want to say much, but he was, again, not even taking as many chances. He wasn't.
Yeah.
He
got very safe in the second half of the season.
He did. And bro, in the beginning of the season, like, he created so much chaos with his shot, and not because of the power of his shot, which did increase, but if it did increase, it increased to like 82 overall, 84 overall, 86 overall max, you know, when he was feeling it and had a protein bar before the game, or ate some oatmeal, or had a McMuffin, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, he could get it to like 86, but most cases, it was like a 79 mile per hour floppy shot through a screen that would cause a rebound or just find its way through because Quinn has great accuracy. We missed that. And we need to see more of that. So Quinn, with that quote about needing to capitalize more than take chances, come on, man. Tell us the truth.
Yeah. And you know what I mean? I think his shot rate went down as the latter half of the season went on. Like, it wasn't just necessarily a luck-based thing. The guy was shooting less. But, you know, early on in the season, he had 9 goals in 25 games. He was on pace for like 25, 26 goals. So I think it's certainly possible that he gets to 20 goals this season. One more comment from Mother Nucker, the biggest Nikita Zadorov fan of all time. Is the more I think about Big D, Vinny D, and letting little Z walk, the more I think this management sees some serious untapped potential in him, and that our D coaches can turn him around. Kyle, call me crazy, but in my breakup player list, I did have Vincent Desharnais there because, again, I think Adam Foote we got to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. Look what he did with Myers. Look what he did with Juleson. And the fact that if they split up Hughes and Hronek, there's a good chance that Vinny D plays with Quinn Hughes. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that you're going to be impressed with the season from Vinny D?
I'm going to say 6. And that's me being nice. That's me falling in love with the personality. And this guy always has a smile on his face, and you want to root for the guy. But again, dude, bro, I just chill with the dude from Edmonton. I think I told the story early this week, man. He's a diehard Oilers fan, like one of the biggest Oilers fans that I met. You could just feel it off his energy. Like, he's so passionate about this team, and he was laughing at us for giving that much money to Vincent Desharnais. And it's going to be, dude, it's going to be a miracle for this guy to be like a safe bet on this decor. It really is. And now you have a rookie goaltender, you know? Like, you know, not being able to bail you. It's a lot going on here. The Canucks, maybe early on, if Tocchet allows his philosophy, the one that he, you know, spewed out early in the summer, if he's actually going to be more offensive, but no offense to any fan that believes that we're well structured in our decor, like our defense is forever changed and Adam Foote is the greatest thing since like Bill Belichick. But I think the Canucks may have to outscore their problems early on this season. Because they can.
And they were able to do it last season, but largely based on efficiency and not necessarily chance creation. So again, Canucks got to shoot more and create more this season. We're going to keep creating for you here on Locked On Canucks. But for now, we do got to get out of here. So shout out to the everydayers, occasional listeners, first-time listeners, new subscribers, and those of you who join us on the live show on YouTube. We love each and every one of you. And man, oh man, my dick is rock hard, and I'm so happy that Kyle Bowen, his voice is back. The real Kyle Bowen is back. Watch out, world. More Canucks talk coming up later this week as we get some media availability, get to training camp, young stars coming up, all kinds of good stuff. Hockey season is right around the corner, mother. Okay, but we got to get out of here. I'm Trevor Beggs. That guy's Kyle Bowen. And you've been listening to Locked On Canucks.
Peace, peace, peace. One love to all y'all, man. I love y'all, man. Thanks for all your support over the last couple of weeks, last couple of years. A lot of nice comments coming in over the last couple of weeks. I didn't need those nice comments for real because I'm 31 and a half years old, and like, I've been through a lot already in life, and I'm tough as a gun. And fortunately, I have guys like Trevor Beggs. You know, I know what real life is. I'm not really in love with the internet like that, but I just want to say one love to all the support. Go Canucks, go. Let's do this, man. Let's do this. Peace.